to Wonder. I am so glad that you're joining us today. My name is Jennifer Lane, and I am the Director of Children and Youth Ministries here at Mount Pleasant First United Methodist Church in Michigan. So no matter where you're joining us today, we are so glad that you've come and been part of this. Have you ever wondered what it was like for Jesus to grow from a baby to a man, and how that journey led him to just share such wonderful insight about God with all of us while Jesus was walking on this earth? I certainly have. This month, we've been talking about all the stories from the Bible that tell us about Jesus as he grew up. And today we're going to be learning about a time where he went into the desert wilderness. Doesn't that sound scary? And he was all by himself until a tempter came to try and convince him to do some things that would not have been good. What is a tempter? Well, a tempter is someone who tries to get others to do things that are wrong or that are not wise, and they do this by offering that person something that is maybe really seems really good but is really not. And that is what a tempter is, and that is what our story is about. Now let's see what Abigail can tell us about this.
Hey friends, I'm Abigail. So I have to be honest with you guys about something. Even though God is with us in every part of our journey, sometimes our journeys are hard. One of the ways they can be hard is temptation. Temptation is wanting to do something that isn't going to be good for you, but you still want to do it because it might give you some fun, some power, or something you didn't have in the moment, like wanting to open your presents before Christmas. It can be so tempting to go and look for them, but then on Christmas you won't have a surprise. You might also be tempted to fight with your sibling when you're mad at them. Maybe you've been tempted to cheat on a test when you don't know the answer. You want to do well, but you know it's not right to look at anyone else's paper. You push away temptation by reminding yourself that you can do it, and it's important to be honest. Temptation can be really hard because it's something we kind of want to do, even when we know it's not right. In our story today, Jesus shows us how to respond to temptation. He is in the wilderness and he encounters the tempter. The tempter does not want Jesus to focus on God and others, but only on himself. With each invitation, the tempter tries to get Jesus to choose his own power and money over anything else. Instead, Jesus responds with scripture and focuses on God instead of himself. He finds strength in his faith and then reminding himself that God is what's most important. Even though it was really hard, Jesus was able to move past temptation because he chose to trust his faith. Even when we struggle, we must remember that God is with us, and our faith can help us too. Jesus shows us that struggle is a part of the journey. What helped Jesus during his struggle was his knowledge of Scripture. You might get help by talking to someone else in your faith community or praying to God. Maybe you say a prayer or take a walk and remind yourself that you are not alone. What helps me is remembering that Jesus struggled too, and even though it's hard sometimes, I can do it. Now, it's your turn to wonder.
Wow, thanks Abigail. That was amazing. Let's read our story today from our Celebrate Wonder Bible, and let's hear what it has to tell us. So I'm reading The Temptation in the Desert, Luke 4:1 through 13. After Jesus was baptized, he went into the wild desert for 40 days to get ready for his ministry. He was going to teach others about God. Jesus prayed and connected with God and with himself. While he was in the desert, the tempter came to tempt Jesus. Turn those rocks into bread. I know you can do it, and I know you're hungry, said the tempter. But Jesus said, no, Scriptures say that people don't live by eating bread alone. The tempter tried a second time. He took Jesus to the top of the mountain and he looked over all of the kingdoms. If you worship me, said the tempter, I will let you be king. But Jesus said, no. Scriptures say we are to worship only God, not power. The tempter tried a third time. He took Jesus to the top of the temple. Jump, he said. You know you won't get hurt because you are God's son. The tempter wanted to put Jesus at the end of his ministry before he even began. But Jesus said, no. Scriptures say we should not test God. The tempter gave up and left. Jesus was once again alone in the wild desert, thinking about God and what God wanted him to do. And there's Jesus in the wild desert. Isn't that amazing? Know that God is always with you too, that you are never alone, that you are always surrounded by God's love and God's presence. And let's say a prayer and remember that as we pray. Pray with me, please. Dear God, thank you. Thank you for helping Jesus when he was alone. Thank you, Lord, for helping us too when we are alone. And all these things we pray in your most glorious name. And all the children said, amen, amen. I love you all. I hope you have a blessed day. There's activities and fun things to do down listed below. And I look forward to seeing you in person. If you ever happen to be in Mount Pleasant, we would love to see you. Bye-bye.